Hello and welcome to another edition of What Does This Deck Do? This time we'll be focusing on the legacy deck Painter, an interesting combo deck in the format that is so much more than just its namesake combo. Let's get started. Painter is a combo/control hybrid deck that revolves around the combination of the cards Painter's Servant and Grindstone. To understand this combo, we need to understand these cards individually. Painter's Servant makes everything in the game a specific color in addition to any other colors. Grindstone mills a player for 2 cards, but then repeats the process if the 2 cards share a color. When you have both of these cards in play and activate Grindstone, the opponent's entire library is milled due to all of the cards being the same color. Because of this, Painter is able to play games threatening the combo, while also utilizing other control elements to defeat the opponent. Painter's Servant itself serves another purpose to games besides enabling the game-winning combo. The most common color chosen with Painter's Servant is generally blue, due in part to the fact that deck plays multiple copies of effects like Red Elemental Blast and Pyroblast. This allows Painter decks to interact with permanents and spells that red spells typically cannot handle easily, such as being able to destroy lands in play and defeat certain spells on the stack. Outside of Painter being actually in play, these blast effects still serve a wider purpose since much of Legacy is predominantly filled with blue decks, making their value in pre-sideboarded games go much more useful. Painter also has plenty of backup plans that enable and cards that enable them to find ways to win the game or find the combo. Cards like Urza Saga make for phenomenal backup plans while also being able to locate a Grindstone off of the 3rd chapter. Fable of the Mirror Breaker not only provides a creature and mana generation, but it provides card selection and helps enable cards like Goblin Welder and Goblin Engineer. In fact, a super fun trick you can pull off with a Welder or Engineer is to activate Grindstone, hold priority, and activate to weld into play a Painter's Servant to win the game with. It doesn't matter that the Grindstone is no longer in play at this point. Very often the deck also plays cards like Fury, Phyrexian Dragon Engine, or even Agatha's Soul Cauldron combined with Phyrexian Devourer to give the deck extra angles of attack. Painter is also famous for existing in different color combinations, mostly mono-red for the purpose of red blast effects, but has dipped into colors such as red-blue, mono-white, and variations of color splashes from white to black. White famously gave the deck cards like Enlightened Tutor as a way for the deck to locate a card it needed to win the game at instant speed, while black allowed for newer cards such as Chaos Defiler from the Warhammer 40k Commander decks to give the deck an uncounterable way to destroy opponents' non-land permanents. The deck has evolved quite a bit in the past decade, due in part to newer printings enabling it to fully adopt a more flexible and control-centric game plan. Painter is currently a very powerful deck in the 2024 Legacy format, due in part to because how powerful its interaction is versus the format. Red blast effects are very strong versus cards like Psychic Frog, and Painter's Servant itself can serve as an interesting foil to the current cropping of Eldrazi builds, as Painter makes everything have a color, which shuts off cards like Eldrazi Temple and Eye of Ugin. Painter is an incredibly interesting deck and has a lot of resources out there. Eternal specialists such as Callum Smith, Canacan, Jack Kitchen, and many more all devote a lot of time to the perfection of this deck. The Painter Discord, which I will link in the video description, has a vibrant community of folks working on this deck. Thanks again for watching this edition of What Does This Deck Do? I hope you enjoyed this, and next time we'll be discussing another great deck in the Legacy format. Be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell to be notified of more content like this, and we'll see you all next time.